Solstice has come back to Destiny 2 right now and has introduced something new, quite literally the brand new 120 RPM hand cannon. Hello, my name is ERATTIC and today we are going to put something new to the test inside my Stasis build. Remember, if you see anything you like in today's video, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe for more. We are at 497 subscribers at the time of recording this, and just a few away from hitting my sub goal of 500. We are so close, and so I'm hoping you'll be the one that gets me there. We also have a brand new Discord server called the Realm of ERATTIC. So if you're interested in building a community with me or asking any questions specifically about my videos, especially this one, then be sure to join with the link down below in the description of this video. Now, I already know that people aren't holding out for this weapon due to it having bad perk limitations and the fact it's a 120 RPM hand cannon, meaning it's not exactly going to sit in the spotlight for many people, considering they don't dominate the PvP section of the game as much as they quite used to. I'm holding out for this weapon slightly, only because it can roll headstone, and I believe this is the only hand cannon at 120 that can have this right now. And so I want to test how good it is in a Stasis build. Now, I did used to like using 120 hand cannons in PvE, but this was a Duke Mark 44 back in Forsaken, which was 4 years ago, getting on for 5 soon, and the game has changed massively since then. So looking at the weapon really quick before I show off how well it performs, the other perk I'm using is Ensemble because I can't seem to get any headstone rolls, and so this is the one I'm working with. The trait on this weapon, however, is pretty interesting, called Dream Work. Once per reload, assists or assisted final blows partially refill the weapon from reserves, potentially overflowing the magazine. On paper, this thing sounds pretty nice for PvP, as you could potentially need that last bullet for finishing someone off, so the idea of potentially having 8 rounds in the mag sounds nice, but unfortunately it isn't working properly because I haven't seen myself get any more than 7 rounds in the mag with this weapon when I'm with others. Let me know if you guys see if it works or not for you. I just can't seem to get it to work. However, this is technically working on other weapons in your heavy and special slots for you and your teammates, making this extremely broken. I think you all might be getting an idea of how that looks. If you want to see what Stasis build I'm using, I'll leave a link in the description down below as to what I'm using, and a tab at the top of the screen which should be right now. If you haven't seen it, I seriously recommend you do. Now it's time to show you some gameplay of this with a Stasis build inside of PvE and tell you what I think of this weapon. I'll start with the positives because there really isn't a lot of them. Firstly, for the kinetic slot, for primary usage it hits fairly hard as you'd hope it would because it's a 120, and it's being combined with Stasis, making it damage boosted slightly on targets who are frozen. The smaller rank and file enemies can get one tapped, and it's definitely satisfying to shoot the crystal with one bullet and see everything get mostly shattered. And now onto the list of problems. Firstly, it's a 120 with a poor reload speed. Now, typically these types of hand cannons usually do, but this one seems to be exceptionally low. Albeit I'm not taking advantage of Ensemble on my gun and there is no reload masterwork, plus a better magazine would help, but you can't deny this weapon is just slow. Range and damage are cool, but the next thing down to replace this is an Eyes Luna, which is a 140 RPM and can do the exact same job as the Something New, which comes with better utility stats such as reload speed, handling and stability. Speaking of stability, I found it hard to accurately shoot with this weapon too, due to its type and the stability, meaning I was firing even slower at times just so I could line up with some shots. However, make of that what you will, as accuracy in a game like Destiny is very subjective as to how the player is, and everyone is at different levels of that. I think my last problem is that Ensemble is great if I'm with others, but the only other reload perk I can get is Feeding Frenzy, and even then it's not the best for 120, and if I'm using it for PvE, I probably want to have something like Wellspring instead for that ability regeneration on all my cooldowns, not even having to worry about the reload speed, because I'd probably want something more like Outlaw if I'm going to use something that's firing that slow. I wanted to quickly mention one final thing, and that being I've ended up getting a much better roll in the time making this video, being Feeding Frenzy with Headstone and getting a flared magwell with a handling masterwork, which performs slightly better, but all the previous problems are still listed and are kind of there. Sure, it's nice to play a little slower for a game that feels like its core gameplay speed has accelerated much faster in the way you move, but at that point, staying back around my team, I felt like I wasn't putting in as much effort as everyone else was. So if you told me Erratic, is this hand cannon any good? I would say probably no. In a general level, that 120s aren't the best state for any part of the game, and the fact I could only say yes through very small specific situations, making sure you had at least near to a god roll version of it. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, you are truly awesome, and I'll catch you all in the next one.